Good morning, good morning, good morning, folks. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We're going to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we do, the usual disclaimers. In the description box, folks, you're going to find a link to the article that the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read. It's written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics, wherein they interviewed and surveyed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's quote-unquote behavior modification program. Matter of fact, the JRC doesn't want you to read this article so much, they have threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they do not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic has refused, so you know the drill. Please read that article and share it on all your social media. We also have linked in their NeuroClastic's public statement regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding, folks, in case the JRC has the balls to see through with their threat. We also have the links in regards to the Agape boarding school / now known as Stone for Help situation. Agape boarding school / Stone for Help is a Christian-themed boarding school based out of Stockton, Missouri, that takes in so-called troubled male teens that has and pending over 21 civil lawsuits, claims, and allegations leveled against it. These have been proven by the hard evidence found during the investigation done by the Missouri Department of Social Services, and they include the following: rape, sodomy, sexual assault, child abuse, psychological and emotional abuse, child trafficking, starvation, and that's just for starters. You have one former staff member arrested by the FBI, another, a doctor still living on the premises with full access to the boys, up on multiple, again, substantiated claims of sodomy, rape, and sexual assault of the boys there. You have a brand spanking new attorney general who has still done nothing, not a zilch, to address the situation whatsoever. And you got a governor hyped up on a power trip from hell. So please, folks, read that article by Ozarks First and share it on all your social media. We also got the pertinent, and sorry for that, allergies. Pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign, including Autistic Hoya's massive archive on the subject, the templates, and the ever-present self-explanatory change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition, a link to the behavioral sheet of Jennifer Masumba on shockable offenses, and a clip out of the 2002 7-hour ordeal undergone by Andre McCollins. Folks, when we discuss the JRC, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of peoples with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones, all right? This channel is marked 16 and up, not for children for a reason. We use profanity and we speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger, parental supervision is very obviously advised. All right, trigger warning. We are about to descend once more into the mad ravings of the lunatic mind known as Dr. Matthew Israel. You're going to hear gaslighting. You're going to hear victim blaming, pseudoscience, numerous lies, abuse and torture apologencia, and enough hate and ableism to circle the globe a few thousand times, dealing with an individual who's so, I swear to God, Dr. Israel has to be one of those individuals that I look at and I just stare and wonder how the hell do they even function level of stupid. Okay? So this is the level of stupid we're dealing with, where we would literally stare at the man and wonder how the fuck he's still alive and how does he even function. Just saying. Okay, we're probably, because the doctor loves his run-on sentences and improper grammar, going to piecemeal this next paragraph because I want to try to be able to help you guys digest it as best as possible. So let's go ahead and do that. It said that aversive therapy is not utilized with any individual at the JRC for the purpose of punishing him for an act he or a third person has committed or is suspected of having committed. Yes, it is. By your own words, it is. It's the consequences to their actions. You shock a student when they have a behavior. What the fuck else do you call it, doctor? It's corporal punishment. Are you on crack? What drugs are you on? Because that must be some really good shit. You can't even say this because you call it a punishment in your own fucking documents. And now you're going to say it isn't? When are we supposed to take your word, doctor? Let me ask you that. JRC, acolytes who follow this insane psychopath. Which words of his are we to believe? Are we to believe him when he says that the GED is used to punish, or, as he calls it, consequence of behavior? Or is it not? Because it can't be both. This is kind of my problem with believe all women, too, because what about if an opposite woman says something opposite? If we're supposed to believe all women, so which one do we believe? Are we supposed to believe them both? How the fuck does any of this shit work? Because it doesn't make sense. Sorry, my particular view on that whole situation. The logic isn't logicking. So which one is it, doctor? Are you consequenting them or are you not? Make it make sense. Let's move on. Fuck me. There's a fundamental difference between punishment or corporal punishment and aversive therapy. Punishment is generally done with the purpose of retribution for an action that the individual has willfully chosen to do. The individual is sought to have behaved badly and is sought to deserve pain or other loss of freedom and retribution. By contrast, aversive therapy is never performed with this thought or attention. That is a lie, doctor. That is a lie. Let me explain this to you, folks. In this whole manifesto, what have we learned? That people like Dr. Matthew Israel and ABA believe that we engage in these behaviors willingly. Remember when he mentioned that earlier in this document, no less, that he thought we were doing these acts as a mean to gain attention or get something out of our peers, that we're trying to achieve something? Remember how many times he has mentioned that we're trying to manipulate people? And that he would then use the device to stop that behavior? If that's not corporal punishment, doctor, I don't know what the fuck is. Because that's exactly what you're doing. Okay? You are literally, gleefully causing the student physical fucking pain for a behavior. That is corporal punishment. And you playing fast and loose with fucking words from the fucking 80s is not going to change that. An autistic child who's whacking her head to the point of detaching her retinas and near blinding of herself is not considered behaved badly, and therefore to deserve pain of loss or freedom and retribution. Then why do you do it, doctor? Because that's exactly what you do. You have stated before that the kids will self-harm because we're trying to get the respect of our peers, or we're causing ourselves harm because we're trying to manipulate people. So you use this device on us to stop it. That is your own words. And now you're going to go back and start saying that you don't consider that badly behaved? You're contradicting yourself. Badly, I might add. Because it can't be both. Are we manipulating? Are we trying to get our way? Are we trying to get the attention of our peers? Or is it not a willful behavior? Which one is it, doctor? Because now you're trying to say, don't believe what I said before, but believe what's coming out of my mouth now. I'm sorry, but I'm going to call them out. Because this is nonsensical. You cannot have it both ways. They're either willful behaviors or they're not. We're either trying to manipulate people and trying to get attention, or these are not willful behaviors. Which, if you do believe these are not willful, doctor, that makes what you're doing to us that much more fucking insidious. You are punishing us literally over things over which we have no fucking control. You are punishing us for existing while being disabled or with mental health issues. In fact, your little wording here doesn't make your argument better. It makes it fucking worse. It means you know it's bullshit, but you're doing it anyway. I'm going to read the rest of this and we'll go ahead and close out on this video. Instead, the child is considered to be exhibiting a behavior that is out of his or her control because of his or her illness. That's a lie, doctor. That's not what you've said previously. You have said previously on numerous occasions throughout multiple documents that we've gone through ad nauseum on this channel that it is willful behavior, that we are trying to get something out of it. Matter of fact, you made one of the individuals that you had do one of your fake fucking ass testimonials mention the fact that he did those behaviors because he's trying to get what he wants. Now you're going back on that? Now you want to start talking like reality, but still tote your insanity? So which Dr. Israel are we supposed to believe? This one or the one that spoke previously? Yeah. That makes what you do that much more insidious, doctor. If we are not in control of these actions, but you are still forcing us to go through horrendous amounts of pain, being shocked at levels just below the fucking lethal limit, when a 3 MPa is enough to put a full-grown 200-pound muscle-bound man on PCP on the ground. Yeah.
If he doesn't keep juggling his narrative, people will stop paying him to torture children. And I mean, that's his entire business model.
Fucking kill me. Such behavior is need of curative treatment. Here we go with the fucking cure again. Snake oil salesmen and people like Dr. Matthew Israel, and yes, I'm going to throw her fucking blonde, stupid ass in here, Jenny McCarthy. They like to cram this cure culture down your throat. If you just follow this, if you just let me torture your children, if you just make your child drink fucking bleach, and yes, that has fucking happened, then all of a sudden our autism magically goes away. There is no cure. There is no shock treatment. There is no physical beating. There is no ABA. There is no fucking amount of masking that is ever going to change that my brain is different from yours. It's never going to happen. This is that magical thinking that pisses me off so much because they get other people to buy into the lie. And that lie has cost people thousands, millions, and yes, even billions of dollars. People like Autism Speaks make billions of dollars are not used in any way, shape, or fucking form to get services out there to those folks instead of sending their kids to hellscapes like this. Okay? I'm so tired of it. But let's read the rest of his bullshit. It's not the retributional infliction of pain or of loss of freedom. Dude, what do you fucking call it? Okay, Paul. Paul is the schizotypal who looks at logic and data as opposed to emotions.
What am I looking at?
The GED device, as both of us have studied it. He's like, but it's not the retributional infliction of pain or loss of freedom.
Well, since it affects the nervous system directly, it is a massive restriction of, massive loss of freedom because you can't move when the damn thing's shocking you. Number two, I've gone through electroshock therapy and it is excruciatingly painful. Thank you very much. And yeah, no, there's absolutely no logical reason to use a device like that whatsoever, except as a means of torture.
And let's move it along here. If it's not being used, like Dr. Israel says, it's not retribution. But it's being used to consequent behaviors. There's another term for that.
Retribution.
Punishment.
Yeah, which is a form of retribution.
See what I'm saying? And back here, Paul doesn't really care about your feelings.
I really don't.
And in similar, a person who has cancerous growth that requires surgery is not in need of retributive infliction of pain. Such a patient is in need of surgery. Oh, for fuck's sake, quit comparing surgery to what you do, doctor. They're not the same. Again, folks, this is not apples and oranges. Comparing surgery to what he does is apples and a fucking semi-truck. Okay? These things are not even remotely the same. Again, what do they do in surgery? There is pain medications that are used. There is pain medication that goes in your veins before they even begin to operate on you. They will scope your ass. They will put your ass to fucking sleep. They try to make it as least invasive as humanly possible. That's not what your device does, doctor. You do not do anything whatsoever in any way, shape, or form to try to minimize the discomfort your fucking ass puts these GED devices on these kids. He does nothing to help with their discomfort. He does nothing to help with their pain. You think those kids are given painkillers after being shocked for hours?
He does a lot to cause their pain. It's a very effective way to cause pain.
And to maximize it as much as humanly possible. In fact, he'll even hire shrinks to try to heighten their terror. We know this because I've read his shit about the bizarre behavioral rehearsal lessons. So much for that's the only thing I come against you about, doctor. I come against your whole fucking thesis. I have torn it to shreds just off the top of my head. Just saying. So what are we reading here? More gaslighting, more bullshit, more cure culture stupidity. More of me once again ranting about how these places receive millions of dollars, yet we can't seem to afford to put places and resources into the hands of poor communities of people with color, but we can sit there and ram cure culture down everyone's throats so that they continue to pay those billions of dollars every year. We are once again comparing apples to a fucking semi when he keeps making these false equivalencies which do not make sense to fucking anyone. Anyone. Paul's not autistic. It doesn't make sense to him. Why does anyone take this man seriously? Why does anyone take his acolytes seriously?
I'll tell you why. I can tell you exactly why. He is marketing the perfect product, false hope. That's why snake oil salesmen have always been able to con people out of their money. They market false hope. They give you completely unrealistic expectations and back them up with such pretty words and such pseudoscience that you just can't help but believe them, because there's that tiny little part of you, no matter how intelligent you are, that hopes they're right and are willing to throw money at it just on the off chance that they might be right. It's the same way that evangelical for-profit ministries make their money. They market farce. That's funny. False hope.
Exactly, folks. And then there's my ass who wants to take you the cold, hard reality. Because what is it that it says in the Bible, folks? The wise man knows that he knows nothing. And that's where wisdom starts. People like Matthew Israel want you to believe them, not to become wise in your own right. We're going to go ahead and close out on that. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do get do tend to get removed from time to time. So please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time. And as always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. I'll see you in the next vid.